There it goes.
I
All
got smoke.
right. We are
Right.
live. I'm going to tell people to refresh their screens. Refresh your screens. Okay, guys. Hopefully y'all can see us. Hopefully y'all can hear us. Go ahead and put something in the chat. Let us know you're alive. Love that three-step method of kicking ass. Yes, Raymond, I love that you're reading my emails. That's badass. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Go ahead and put something in the chat. Let us know you're alive. Love that three-step method of kicking ass. Yes. Oh. Okay, cool. Be back there. Let me just get the window back up. Hooray! All right, we're ready to go. Oh, I'm ready to go anyway. All right, guys. So first and foremost, I want to thank Raymond for reading my emails. You rock, brother. I love that because that's the only place that I shared that three-step method. And for those of you who didn't get it, well, sorry, but you got to get on my email list.
I gotta look in my spam box.
All right, guys. As everybody may or may not know, lots of changes happened in the industry. Ultimate RevShare just announced a membership program. Be sure you guys get in their Facebook group, see what that's all about. Ask questions there if you guys have questions. All of us, we're still kind of getting to learn the ropes of the new system as well. So definitely, we're all here to collect information. So if anybody else wants to go out and gather that information, always appreciate you. Definitely helpful. Tonight, guys, I want to talk about what has been able to create a 4-hour work week. I mean, a real, true 4-hour work week for both Twee and myself, and also some of the people on this panel are utilizing the same stuff here. Are we going yet? Yes, we're live. In the chat there. Boom. Okay, so I want to talk about engineering a 4-hour work week and really what it takes to make that happen. And there's an underlying skill set that everybody needs to have in any business in order to create that type of 4-hour work week or the type of 60, 70-hour work week if that's what you love. But really what it is getting really, really clear on what it is that your mission is. Before we reveal some special techniques that I've used, some special techniques that I know Saron has, and Julian and Fidel on how to do this type of stuff, I want to mention I want to talk about what a 4-hour work week looks like, okay? So over the last 2 weeks, as many of you guys know, about 2 weeks ago, I got really, really sick. Me and Twee and Gage, we all got really, almost deathly ill. I'm still, fighting it half the time. And, it'll go away for a few days and it comes back, goes away, comes back. And what I've been able to do over that length of time, over that last 2 weeks, is literally work 4 hours a week. And I've been able to do this by doing some simple strategies. You can totally just look at my Facebook page and just re-engineer exactly how I'm doing that. It's really, really simple. It just involves a few photos every week and then some ad copy about what it is that I'm doing with my daily life. Jerry, I saw the message in Skype, just didn't have a chance to respond to it yet. So I'll get back to you after the webinar about that. But the other things that we've been doing to create that 4-hour work week, it really revolves around clarity, revolves around being so laser focused and so clear to what you're actually after. And I can tell you right now that what it is getting after your vision, not after your goal. A goal is like $10,000 a month. That's a result, and that's a goal. But it's rather getting clear on your vision, because it's the vision that drives you. There's a saying in the Bible that says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." I love that. It's one of my. I don't know where it's at in the Bible. I just know it's there. And Sarah you might know, but what I do know is that it's one of the most true statements that I've ever heard.
Yeah, Proverbs.
Proverbs. Is that Proverbs? See, we were just talking about the book of Ecclesiastes, and then here we are talking about Proverbs. Two sides of the same coin.
I was going to Google it.
But what's awesome about that is that you yourself can follow a vision that you set for yourself. Saron, what were some of the things that we were talking about today when we were talking about gaining that clarity of self, that clarity of vision?
Well, first you got to understand that if you don't have a destination, there's no chance of getting where you really want, and that destination has to be clear. And I think the simplest way that I've been that people have shared that with me is like a GPS. When your GPS is set up, you have a destination in your phone. You know where you are currently, and you know where you're going. And so you just plug it in, and once the GPS knows where your destination, where you're trying to land, then the map is clear. The map gets you there, and it's no doubt that you will get there. It's just a matter of having that destination in mind. So I think that, we obviously, this whole webinar is going to be about ways to gain more clarity, but that's this idea of understanding your why, your vision, your purpose. That is really the cornerstone of how you're going to get to where you want to go. You just have to know what that is, and there's going to be little goals along the way, but that getting clear on that is the key.
I think
understanding. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think it's important to let everyone know that your vision will grow and will expand as you go. I also had an experience recently where I had to realign my vision and refocus my vision based on the current settings, the current circumstances, the current state of the marketplace, and where my life is going currently. I've had to totally realign all those different things. Julian, I know that you've had to do that recently as well. Because you're mentioning to me where you're changing your health habits, you're changing your food, your diet habits, and you've had to kind of realign the way you think in order to do that. And what's been some of your experiences, and are there things that you've had to, I guess I might say, give up or change or get rid of in order to adopt that new lifestyle?
Well, I just really, in speaking to the health side of things, I just kind of had to sit back and look and see what my health was, my energy levels, my focus, and how it affected a lot of different things in my life. And it just really I just really had to sit down and think, okay, really, it's almost like I had to kind of, what's a good word? I'll kind of meditate on this, so to speak, to kind of see, okay, what do I need to do to make this change, and kind of act on it. And then part of that was becoming a vegan, which I did last July, and it's been some baby steps going towards that. But I had a clearer thing as exactly what I want to look like and feel like as I was going through that process, and in following those steps and going through almost almost June, almost a year into it. Mm-hmm. It's been the best thing I've ever done in my life. So it's just one of those things I had to kind of sit, reflect, and kind of look back currently what I was doing before, and how my body felt, and how my mind was, and how my focus was, and then kind of have a picture of what I wanted to look like going forward, in the future, so to speak, and the actions I had to do to actually get there, which is moving the switch.
Through that process, okay, so you said it was like baby steps and stuff like that, getting from there to where you are now. Through that process, though, have you found that you've had to, or almost that you've kind of mastered the original vision, and now you mentioned to me that you're taking it almost to the next level, where you're like, okay, what are some other foods and some other types of things that I could be doing to expand my health? I know that you were talking about some of that stuff. Maybe you had mentioned even stepping outside of your diet now and looking to the next level of health.
Right. And it was actually funny enough. Today is the last day of a cleanse I did, and that was another part of that process. Even though I went vegan in the beginning stages, I kind of had to learn how to get, for instance, the right proteins as a vegan. And because of that, I lost a lot of weight, I lost a lot of muscle, and once I got that done, I was good to go now. The other thing I've got to do a cleanse of my body, my organs, all that good stuff. And I actually just literally finished that video I posted on my Facebook page. I actually just finished my cleanse tonight. It's my last night. So that was
Yeah,
that thing.
boy.
So now, yeah, thanks. Now it's going to be going out and taking certain healthy products to kind of regenerate my body and go and start working out and all that good stuff. Now I got the protein down, all that good stuff now. So it's going to the next level.
So
And I
it
felt
goes
so much
in
better.
phases, right?
Yeah,
So and your business works the same way. Your business goes in phases too. Like
yes,
it kind of starts off in this big thing, and then and you kind of master some of these overarching skills. And
yep,
once you do, then it kind of chunks itself down and compounds. And every time that it does that, you have to realign your vision. A friend of mine calls them next level devils, and it's always like whenever you get to that next level, there's always a new demon to slay. There's always a new belief maybe to overcome,
yeah,
and there's always a new a sense of clarity that you need to achieve at every level and stage in your life and in your business. Um, you know, Sarah, you mentioned, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I liked what you said, Julian, about you said you had to see what it looked like and what it felt like,
yeah,
and examine that and really meditate on that. What does it look like? What does the end goal feel like? And I thought that was super important. That's a huge point, because that's if you got to know what you've got to at least try to experience it
yeah,
in order to get there.
yep, absolutely. And it took some time, and it took a lot of back and forth, and I had to kind of sit and really think and go through that same process over and over again. Because as a matter of fact, earlier in the year, I tried it out. For instance, January, I went without eating any red meat. The only thing I ate, I think, for that month was fish. February, I actually ate no meat. It was the shortest month. I figured, let me try it that month and see. And I didn't actually end up doing it until July, once I really got that picture of what I wanted to look like and all that good stuff. And that's when I actually did it. And it's kind of like the same thing when I got this cleanse. I actually had that thing for a good 2 months because it was a very intensive cleanse. And I finally said, okay, I've got to get this done. And that's exactly what I did. I just finished it today. So.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So to link all that stuff back to your own business, your own life, and your own sense of clarity and whatnot, it's always going like setting that goal of what it looks like, what it feels like, and then and then going towards that one avenue until you've mastered that one thing. Then at that point, you will have to realign your vision to gain more clarity. And we were just talking before the webinar, Fidel mentioned about getting rid of all of the, clearing out all the furniture in his house. As many of you guys may or may not know, me and Twee are looking to go travel around the world for a year. So we're looking to get rid of like everything that we own and just have like a few clothes and a laptop, and take that around with us. And so we're trying to sell everything. We're trying to just get rid of as much stuff as we possibly can. And like at first it was really scary. At first it was like, oh man, I worked for this stuff. I have all this, I've accumulated this life over the years, but it's not life. The stuff that you have, or maybe the things that you've invested into, maybe old business opportunities, or any of those things. You have to clear that stuff out to make room for the new. It's so important to the weight of your business, to the lightness of your business. I know that there are a lot of old programs that I've been in before, that I've just like got my money out of and moved on, or just let them go and forgot they even existed. And I'm like, hey, I'm just doing this one thing right now. I'm just doing this. And I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Like, my main focus now, like 80% of my focus is going into DA. It's going into Aspire, and it's going into traffic, and it's going into, like Susan just said, purging stuff. And that's exactly the word that me and Twee are using a lot.
Yeah.
Purging. Fidel, have you ever had an experience where you were purging just the old out of your life so that you can get the new here?
Never. No, I'm just playing. It's like every single day you got to do that. It's like it's kind of like a mental cleanse.
Yeah.
you got to do it constantly. I mean, there's so much distractions. Even like, for example, I'm right now I started doing more videos towards my carpet cleaning business, just to kind of teach people the real business out there. You got to do it with carpet cleaning. I could get so distracted and start a painting business, but why would I start a painting business when my focus is on carpet cleaning? You know what I mean? So even on that, even on the real world, you have to do the same thing. Like I can get distracted by investing in real estate. I can get distracted in investing in a restaurant or something different that is not related to carpet cleaning. So even on that, you have to like have that clarity, and you know.
Absolutely. And, you know, getting rid of that stuff helps you gain that clarity.
Yeah.
You know, and if nothing else, it makes you feel lighter. And the lighter we are, the faster we can go.
The faster we can go. Correct.
Exactly. You know, Sarah, you and me were having that conversation earlier today about just, you know, when we're talking about we were talking about old things. We were talking about like old business, like, you know, you were mentioning that you had like a lot of old clients and stuff like that. That you're like, I got this thing, and it's like it's an income stream, but at the same time, it's like I'm ready to go do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
What's been your experience in that? Because you're going through that transition right now.
Yeah. I mean, clarity is one of those things, guys, that we're all, you know, we all go through this, like Fidel said, on a daily basis. Yep. When new opportunities come across your desk, you have to analyze them, you have to judge them, you have to decide, does this puzzle piece fit in with the vision? And you know, just to give you guys a quick backdrop on what's happened over the last couple of years in my businesses. I actually moved down to Charleston. I'm right on the coast, and it's been a part of the dream for years, is to get back here. And I had to come back. I had to come down here 2 or 3 times to see it. That's why I love what Julian said, where you see the vision, and then you see it multiple times, and you put yourself there, and you try to imagine yourself in it, and so. So I finally, you know, through those little journeys, I was like, okay, I'm confident. I got this. Let's go. I'm clear on exactly where I'm going, and I made the move. Now I'm going through that in my business side, where there's opportunities that are coming across the desk, and I've got to look at those and judge them and say, is this in line with my future vision? And are there things that I need to let go? Are there things that I need to shed so that I can get to the next level? And so kind of those next level demons, like you're talking about, like, you know, it's that next level things that we all deal with, that we, you know, you never really get rid of these. You just have to get wise to what your vision really truly is and what's possible for you. And these are all things that you got to ask yourself continually, and grow that side of your thinking, your belief. So yeah, that's yeah, I'm in the process of shedding things and figuring out what puzzle pieces fit and which ones don't.
And every time that you shed, it's every time that you shed, you're almost restarting your business.
Yeah. It's never comfortable. It's just not a comfortable process, really. You know, it's like the shedding is like you want to hold on to everything, and like you want to, like, you know, keep as much as you can, but you feel lighter once it's done. You're like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. Like, I feel better now that that's not here anymore.
Yeah, you do, and some of the things that you're shedding is old opportunities, people.
Yep, I was about to say that.
Software. People is a big one.
People is a big one, yeah.
Julian, you sound like you got something you want to say about that.
No, I was agreeing with you. Yeah, people is a big one for sure. That's all part of that same process again.
Yeah.
You got people that come in your life that either, you know, they serve you or they don't serve you in a good or positive, you know, or good or a negative way. And if it's a negative way, you gotta separate yourself.
And you know, it may not even be that it's a negative way. It's one of those things. It could be one of those things where sometimes people are here for a season or they're here for a reason.
Right.
You know, and those are the, you know, like I've had mentors that were here for, you know, that 6 months or something like that. And then, after that time frame, it was like, oh, well, I don't know that we really connect anymore, or I don't know that that really, I'm sure that there's plenty more that we can teach each other, but it's time for me to, like Susan just said, spread my wings.
Yeah.
And when you do, what you find is people, like those old people leave and new people come in.
Yep.
And that's happening a lot right now in my own life, and it will happen to you guys, especially when you become more open to it. And what you'll find is that when you become more open to it, you begin to like almost create all of these allies all over the place, especially if you're leaving everything on a good note. And it's not really that you're not friends anymore. It's just more that, like, well, I need to go over here for a while, and that's when you do that type of stuff. It not only lets you go with the flow, but it lets you gain new perspectives and new knowledge and new techniques and new tactics, and you may find something that's so in line with yourself that you know that this is where your business is meant to go. Yep. And that's all part of that purging process. It's all part of that clarity process. And it's not, if you're doing this like daily, especially in your business, then there's something probably wrong. But if you're, I say that because
purge day.
What's that?
It's like every day is purge day. No.
I say that because I've met a lot of people in the internet marketing world, and as well as I do in internet marketing, people are sometimes people are in three new offers within one day. I've literally seen people join 3 offers in one day. They got in, they were excited at 8 a.m. and then by noon, they were excited for the next thing. And it's like that's not purging, because that's just
that's cluttering.
Cluttering. That's just bringing in all this new stuff.
And see, that's kind of where that's like right now. I see that because, of course, as you know, that I have different revenue shares, and they're all kind of going to shit and stuff like that. And now, like, I've been talking to some of the leaders, and I'm like, me and some of the leaders are getting together, masterminding, and we're like, what are we doing? I'm like, we're just messing our name, our reputation. We're messing around with all this revenue shares. What is our next step? So we're like, definitely, of course, I do digital altitude. I'm like, where should we take our focus? Where should we do this? And we're helping each other out and trying to declutter all this nonsense, all this garbage out, and trying to focus on something that it's going to be long term, something that we don't have. I was actually talking to one of my team members, and I was like, I'm setting up something where I don't have to jump around from here to here, and just focus on one thing, declutter all the nonsense, and just stay focused on one thing.
And what it is that one thing that you're going to stay focused on?
We're working on that.
Well, one thing that I focus on is the one thing that I think everybody on this panel and everybody in that chat needs to focus on and continue to focus on, because no matter what changes in the marketplace, this is the one thing that you always need to focus on. It starts with a B and ends with a D. It's a B-R-A-N-D, brand. Your brand never, ever, ever, ever goes away. Like I told my latest training people, every single person was born with a permanent logo. It's called your face. And
I love that line so much. I love that line.
Because that is your logo for life. And if you build that logo, if you build that brand and that message, then no matter what happens, no matter how the market changes, if Google decides to stop allowing people to have websites or search engine optimization tomorrow, or whatever it happens to be, you will still have a business. That's why we push the email audience so much. That's why we push brands so much. That's why we push messaging so much. It's not really that important to push sales. because the sales come to you. You know, so I recently had a debate with somebody, a very public debate with somebody where they said you don't need a brand if you buy solo ads. And I told them I wanted to give a very big middle finger up to them and say that's not true at all. You're screwing everybody that you're telling that to, because the fact of the matter is what happens with solo ads is you may get some people who buy on the front end, but the reality is that a lot of those people will get on your email list. They will read what you have to say, and they will decide in the first email or two whether or not you're worth listening to.
Right.
And what happens a lot of times is that they will go research you on social media. They'll look for you on YouTube. They'll look for you on Facebook. They want to know if you're worthwhile. They want to know if you're worth trusting. And if your brand is just pitch, 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 here's a new offer all the time, then that's what you're known for. You're known for offer hopping.
A spammer.
It's the truth, because there are opportunities that I've joined, and I had friends that were in them, and I deliberately did not join that friend because that friend was in a new offer every 3-4 weeks. So I knew that if I joined that thing under that person, that in 3-4 weeks from now, that person's not going to be there to support me, and they're going to be telling me to get to the next thing. So their brand was that. Their brand is go where the money's at. It's always whatever is the newest thing. And other people, you know, I've met other people where their brand is live or die by the offer. I think that's just as bad. Live or die by the offer is a term that I came up while I was coaching a student whose offer was dying. It was literally like the least converting offer on the internet. And no matter what, this guy would not leave this offer. And I was like, look, do anything. I don't care what you sell. Whatever you sell, it will convert better than this. Like, you could sell dog crap and it will convert. I know there's a website that sells that stuff. And I'm not even kidding. It's something that you can order and send to somebody. And it converts. It does sell. And my point of it was that if you're so focused on this live and die by the offer, you'll also get stuck. It needs to be about you. It needs to be about your vision. It needs to be about your brand. It needs to be about your clarity, your sense of self. And yes, Raymond, that does sound like an offer that was I'm not, y'all can read the chat. But it does sound like those types of offers. It needs to be about you. It is about you. This business, you did not get in this business or any business to be the most popular guy or anything like that. You didn't get into these things also just to make money. You got into this because you wanted to create a new lifestyle for yourself. And lifestyle begins when, like exactly what Julian said. You need to see it and you need to feel it before it even happens.
Yes, I just wrote that down from a webinar where it says you gotta feel it. You gotta feel that. Where did I write it down? It was something that I saw on Sunday. It's like it's a feeling that you have to have. I can't teach you that, but you gotta feel it. Yeah. It's something that you can't teach people how to, like, for example, if you want success, I can't teach you how to do it. You gotta feel it. You gotta have that burning desire how to do it. So.
And Fidel, the reason why you can't teach somebody success is because success means something different to everybody else.
Yeah.
So Raymond mentioned in the chat that he's looking to buy a bigger house. That's not success to me. Like, to me personally, success is I don't want to own shit. Like, I don't want to own anything. I want to own my laptop and like 3 pairs of clothes. Like, that's it.
You mean you're not gonna go to that website and buy dog poop?
No, I'm not gonna do that. But that's success to me. Like, success to me is I don't want to own anything, because to me it all has weight, including a house, including any of those things. That all has exactly.
That's one of the things that I'm trying to get clarity, because I had my house in the market and people are like, "Why are you selling your house?" I'm like, "Because it's weighing me down." I'm like, the house is. I'm like, I like my house and everything. I'm like, I just don't want that weight. You know, I don't want that eventually, because my goal, my clarity is like right now. You know, I do good and stuff like that, but my clarity is like I want to make $15,000 a week, and this is weighing me down, and I could just have like, you know, I could be in an apartment and just have no weight down and just stick to my clarity of where I want to go.
And I want to address two things that were said in the chat. Number one, Mark said that success is an individual concept. And that's exactly 100% true. Yes. And Raymond also, too, this is the second thing I want to address. Raymond said that so he needs that house as a goal. And that's okay, too, Raymond. So that's what Mark said. Success is an individual concept. Yeah. Like, for me, stuff, like any stuff, has always been one of the most overwhelming things that there is, ever. When I got my first apartment, it was a 485 square foot apartment, and I had all the stuff brought with me from my bedroom when I was, you know, in high school, and I felt like I had too much stuff. And when I went to go move, I moved by airplane, and so all I could really take was a backpack and 2 check bags at that time. This was before they charged, like, you know, $200 to check a bag or something crazy. But when that happened, I realized how much stuff was like an overwhelming, like, scary thing to me. So I realized, for me, my clarity comes when I'm light and can move quickly.
Yeah.
What about you, Saron? What does clarity look like to you, and success look like to you?
I definitely am with you on. I do much better in for the longest time when I moved. I love living in places that feel peaceful to me. Like the place that I'm at now, just the location. I'm right next. I'm 5 minutes from the beach. I'm literally right down the road. Basically walk to it. For me, living by water is peaceful. So anywhere, one of my definitions of success for me personally is I love living anywhere near water. It just is peaceful to me on another level. I don't care if it's a lake or if it's a coastline. It's just got to be near water, and so that's one thing. That's kind of a weird one to me. But stuff does for me. I need lots and lots of clear space. You know, high ceilings. I don't know if that's where, but like most of the places that I move to, I try to not take anything with me. I try to take like as few things as possible, because I like having almost nothing there and starting over from scratch when I get there, and that just helps me kind of get into the flow. And so that's the thing. And then, you know, as far as, I mean, there's obviously, we all have income goals. We all have what we, you know, desire for income-wise and stuff like that. I want, you know, I have dreams as far as, you know, having people that I manage and people doing, you know, specific jobs for me, you know, that are doing all the work. And I like selling. So we all have these different definitions of success, and that's okay, regardless of whatever yours might be. You know, it's perfectly fine. And if that's what drives you, then that's what you need to stick by. And sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out what it really is that drives us.
But once you also figure it out, though, I think it's important that everybody write it down.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important, actually, that every single person write out what success looks like to you. Success, to me, is the full package. It's health, wealth, and relationships. Yep. And it's all of those things. It's also, you know, being as minimalistic as possible. That's what success looks like to me. And so, if to gain more clarity, it's important to write out exactly what success is to you as a person, you as an individual. And that it can have a dollar amount, but I don't want you to focus on the dollar amount, because we get so distracted, especially in this country, especially this country being the United States where I'm at. In this country, we have a very high emphasis that success is equal to that of what's in your bank account, and that's just not true. It's just not. Success is defined by the individual, and if you feel like a success, then you are. And it's important, though, to know that and to write it out, have that sort of clarity behind it. And also, in addition to that, too, to revisit that, not just on a daily basis, but to revisit it and question it later on. Is this still what success looks like to me?
You know what, Joel? That's pretty awesome right there, what you said. Because when you take the money equation out of the picture, like you could make $100 a month and still feel successful of what you're doing online, and that gives you the confidence to even speak it more and more and more and become more successful. So I'm gonna write that down, because sometimes I felt myself like, I've only made so many $100 a month, and I don't feel like I've hit my goal, and then I don't feel like I'm a successful marketer. And then what you said, I'm like, wait a minute, I am a successful marketer. I am branding myself every day. I'm putting videos, I'm putting content, I'm doing everything that, whatever it is that I do every single day to brand myself. And I'm like, I am a successful marketer. That thought just came to my mind. So that was just valuable right there, what you said. It's not about the money amount that you make, but what you do every single day to grow your brand and build your business. So
yeah, because ultimately it comes down to how you feel.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily about the income goals, because success is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
And
that's valuable right there.
Yeah, it's the truth, because as an entrepreneur, really, it's about, for me, one of the things that, like, my success to me is right now, and I want to make that clear. Success to me right now, because it will change. I know that it will. I know that it'll change because I'm a person who grows. But success to me right now is being that minimalistic, so that I don't have any stuff at all, so that all that I think about is life and love and helping people and happiness. That's it. So that's all I think about. And that's where I want that's what success is defined to me. I think what's important, I think something everybody should do tonight, don't wait for tomorrow or anything like that. It is, Jerry, nothing wrong with having stuff. The problem is when stuff has you. Yeah, and that's what happens to me. Stuff gets me. After a few years, the stuff owns me. And that's why success to me, I'm like, I don't want to just let it all go. But I do the same with knowledge. I've accumulated all this knowledge over the last few years in marketing and business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that, and it's like sometimes, like, just holding on to it for so long and not giving it away or not helping other people with it becomes also like a trap. It becomes overwhelming. And so it's important, too, for those of you out there who are learning, who are growing and stuff like that, to also kind of create mental white space by when you began to master these things, helping other people out and giving other people that information. I jumped on a call with somebody today, and was like looking at, he was asking me why he wasn't getting results with this traffic, and I was like, let's take a look at all this stuff. I gave him all this information that took me years and years and years to know, or years and years to learn. And the reason why was not just to help him out, but because it also feels good to get that information out there.
Yeah.
It almost cleanses that energy so that you can come to the table stronger, and with not just with more clarity, but with more sense of self, and thus more purpose. And ultimately, it comes down to the purpose that we have, purpose that drives us, clarity that allows us the stamina to continue to go towards our purpose.
I heard it a while ago. It be like a river where things flow instead of like a reserve where water stays there or something like that. You know, it's kind of like be a river where everything that you get, every knowledge, you share it with other people and just let it go by and share whatever you learn and stuff like that with.
Makes me think of Bruce Lee.
I want to add one to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to add one to that. Be like a tree planted by the water. And I want to expound on that point, because one of the things I think is super important and that helps us, it's always helped me gain clarity, is being around people that are clear and that are also going after that. And it's like it's that they're figuring, they're clear already, so you're going to receive from that. They're going to be talking about their vision and talking about their dream and the excitement that they have for it, and you're going to start to get clear. You're going to start to be like, well, that sounds awesome. Like, I like that. And then you start structuring and you get excited about your vision, your dream, and your future. And so that's where I think that it's important to plant ourselves around people that are also clear and that have gone on the clarity journey, and absorb from that.
That's Sarah, and that's actually exactly why it's so important to go to masterminds, like high-level masterminds. Not just marketing events, but marketing events, by the way, everybody should be going to one of those at least once a year, like bare minimum. I don't care which ones you go to. Most of them are pretty good, but you should be going to marketing events once or twice a year. But high-level masterminds, like the one I met Sarah on at, those alter your reality. They alter your perspectives, because the people that you're getting around at these high-level masterminds, when I say high-level masterminds, I'm talking about these masterminds that are like, sometimes they're $5,000, sometimes they're $10,000, sometimes they're $25,000 to get to these things. But the value that you get and the fact how much they alter, I'm talking alter your whole perception of reality, will change your business. It's not just the skills that you get, and it's not just the people you meet, but it's the you yourself stretch as a person. Sarah, and I know you've been to a lot of those. Julian, have you ever been to a high-level mastermind, brother?
Not in a while, and that's something I need to start getting out to as well. That's one of those things in my goals for today. And I know I'm hearing about one on the horizon coming up.
I knew about that one. Oh, that's right. I believe I just mentioned it in the last one. Okay.
So I'm waiting to find out when you're going to drop that date.
Actually, I'm going to drop that date probably by Monday.
Okay, good.
Yes, you guys are going to want to follow my Facebook and follow Inside the RevShare Lifestyle group, and be on next week's webinar too, because those dates are going to be announced. So you guys know I talked about this last week on the webinar, just briefly mentioned it, but me and some friends of mine are planning a incredibly high level mastermind, and it is it's some next level shit. This is more than just meeting people. It's more than just learning some marketing stuff. I mean, we're going deep into things like brain hacking and going deep into everything from creating entire Facebook ads that are just crushing. I'm talking about 10, 20 grand net profit per month just on the Facebook ads. That's not even including the rest of the business. We're going heavy. We're going hard on this stuff. It's really, really high level stuff. But But I highly recommend that you guys get around other individuals, like Saron was saying, who are clear on their vision, who are clear on their goals. Because I know that before I went to that mastermind with you, Saron, what, year and a half ago, I know at that time I was making money in my business. I was making decent money, but I know that I was unhappy, and I know that I was unclear as to where I was going and how to scale it. And how to scale it in a way that didn't destroy my life and destroy my family by working 70 hours a week. And it wasn't until I got around other people who had done it, and I mean in person, where you can sit there and I'm going to use a term that Twee absolutely hates, where you can sit there and pick somebody's brain for a few days and learn what it is that they, learn from their mistakes and also learn from their guidance and their direction. Especially if you're new, or especially if you have been struggling in this industry or anything in your life, getting around these people who have been through it makes a world of difference. And then they become lifelong friends. So they end up on webinars every Wednesday with you.
I was gonna say, man, the relationships we're not designed. Humans are not designed to be solo all the time. I think these days we spend so much time, especially us doing the internet stuff, is we are so on our own that I just truly believe that we are more powerful. We're more focused. We have more energy when we're around people that are like-minded, and we're feeding off of each other. And that's that's another thing about events and masterminds and being on calls like this, is you guys are just getting fed right now. That's what you're here to do. Is you're here to feed. You're here to get ideas. You're here to get excited, and that's our job, is to help bring that to you, and give you some nuggets and some revelations that you can have that will take you your belief to another level. And that's what you get around people. And the relationships that you make just from this kind of stuff, it's absolutely incredible. I'm just glad that I was at the event, some over a year ago now, and met Joel. And it's hard to believe that it's been over a year, but that's what kind of things come from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the notes from that Sunday, and Saron just talked about it. It says, think bigger by working with other people. And it says working alone will keep you small. So it's always good to surround yourself with big thinkers, and you're going to become a big thinker. Think more positive. Think have more clarity, and have people pull you towards success. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Julian, when we met, has it been 3 years now?
3 years? I was thinking about that. It's about 3 years. That sounds about right.
I guess we met about 3 years ago. Then we met at the event, 2014.
Yes, actually, that was 2 years ago. Yes, but yeah, online was before that. But yes, the event was 2014.
But when we met there, I mean, the people that we met there, like Justin, was one of the speakers at the time. We're still talking with those people. We're still working with those people, and those people are growing on their own independently, and then we're able to go back to them and say, hey, it's been 2-3 months since we spoke. What types of new things can we share back and forth with each other?
Yeah.
How valuable has it been? Just that one event that you went to back in 2014, you're still getting benefit from that, aren't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I got connected with you as well, and with Justin that was at the event, and I just recently reconnected with him, as you know, to do some additional coaching to help me in another direction in my business as well.
Yeah.
So those relationships from going to those events are extremely priceless. They really are. And it could be one of those things where you make a connection with folks and you share your ideas, and it could be a year, 2 years down the line, and you guys could reconnect like like it was almost like it was yesterday, when you can reconnect and kind of grow from that point on as well. So it's very, very powerful, and that's one of those things, like I said, I was on my list as far as getting back to those masterminds again, because a lot of those events could create those, sometimes, like you said, lifelong friendships, you know?
And one last thing to piggyback on that. One last thing to piggyback on that is when you've been seeing people online for like a prolonged amount of time to see, it's kind of a cool shock that you get.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's I have this horrible thing where I can't recognize anybody by their Facebook profile picture, at all. So like, I'll like go to a mastermind. They're like, "Hey, what's up, Joel?" And I'm like, "Hey, who are you?" They're like, "I'm so-and-so," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Yeah,
Tweet recognized me in Vegas. I didn't even go to meet you guys, and then we bumped into each other in Vegas, and I was like, "What? Oh, there's Joel, there's me." I was like, that was surprising.
Starstruck.
I don't know what it is. Tweet can see anybody on Facebook and automatically recognize them in person. I can't.
But yeah, man, guys, clarity is it's the key. I had a mentor that built a massive company, and that was the cornerstone. It's always, you would always come back to clarity. Is if you were not moving as fast as you would have liked, if you were if you felt like you were if you've ever been on a bike, or if you've ever driven a straight shift car and you're going on the highway in like first gear or second gear, your engine is turning really fast, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you've ever felt like that, it's usually because of a lack of clarity. And clarity is clarity is like the gasoline in your car.
Yeah.
It will propel you to new places. It's energy to get you to new places.
Yeah.
And the more clear you are, the more emotion that's tied up into that vision, the faster you're going to get there. The more fun it's going to be.
And to be completely clear, clarity is, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Clarity is not about necessarily all the skills that you have. Clarity, though that can be a part of it, clarity is about being clear where you're going. There's this awesome talk by Simon Sinek, and if you guys never listened to Simon Sinek, go watch everything he has on YouTube. I mean, everything. But there's this awesome talk where he says if you tell somebody to go to the corner of the room, they will walk to the corner of the room, and if you put a chair in front of them, they'll walk around the chair and go to the corner of the room. But if you tell somebody to just walk in that direction and then put a chair in front of them, they'll either stop and sit down, or they'll change directions and go somewhere completely else. And it makes sense, because when you know where the destination is, it doesn't matter what gets in front of you, you keep going. That only happens when you're clear. When you're clear as to the destination. If you know the destination is the corner of the room, it won't matter that there's a coffee table and a chair in front of you. You walk around that stuff and go to the corner of the room. But if you just tell somebody to walk in that direction, they will stop the second that they hit a hurdle.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking video about that.
Well, I mean, and that's why it's so important to know where you want to go. Like, I'm going to take it right back to what Julian said. What it looks like and what it feels like. You need to define that. You need to know exactly what that is in your head and in your heart, and then write it out on paper so you can see what it would look like in your business.
And if you think about it, you can tell a 3-year-old, 4-year-old exactly, like, go right here and put something in front of them. They'll go around it and get to that same location. So even a 3 or 4-year-old, if you tell them where to go, or if they have clarity of where they're going to go, they'll jump through things and go around things and get there.
Absolutely.
I want to add one other thing to that, one other benefit that you get from gaining clarity yourself, and that is the ability to lead other people. Because if you're not clear, you can't convey a message to other people. And that was one of the things, and that's something that every business owner has to fight against. They have to get through that. Is gaining clarity so that they can lead other people. Because if you have a business, it's not just for hoorah and telling everybody you have a business. It's for selling. You have customers, and those customers are not numbers; they're people. And how do you build? How does money transact? It's through relationships and through leading other people. So in order to convey a message to other people, you have to be clear on the message. You have to be clear on where you're going and be able to convey that to other people. And so that's why you have to start, why the foundation is built off of clarity.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I want you to do a mental white space. And Twee talked about this last week. She talked about it the week before. What mental white space is. Basically, I want you guys to do a brain dump. I want you to write out everything in your business that's overwhelming you, and I want you to write out everything in your business that you feel is that you're working on. I'm not going to say that you feel shouldn't be there, but I'm going to say that you're working on. Okay, so if you write it all out and there's like 5 or 6 opportunities, I want to think about that one. I want to rethink that one. It should be that you're working on 1 to 2 things. That's it. And it really should be broken down that simple. It should be that clear. Because when you become that clear and you become laser focused on one specific thing, you will get there so much faster. It may feel like you're going slower, but I promise you, you will go at 10 times the speed than if you're trying to do 10 different things. Bruce Lee said, "I don't fear the man who practices 10,000 kicks." He says, "I fear the man that practiced 1 kick 10,000 times."
Yep.
I love that quote because it's so real.
True.
And if you've ever been kicked by somebody that's practiced a kick a whole lot of times, it's not fun. And fun at all. I was in karate for a long time, and that was yeah.
It's the truth, and that helps you gain clarity. Somebody who's practiced that kick 10,000 times could do that kick in their sleep. And you've heard about the whole thing, 10,000 hours to master something. Well, if you're working on one specific thing, let's say it's your brand, because I'm gonna drill that in you guys as much as I possibly can and at every possible turn I can. Let's say it's your brand that you're working on for 10,000 hours. When you become so laser focused and understand that, like there's no question about it, you can do anything. When you master at least just one skill in your business, whether it's your brand or email marketing or Facebook ads or capture pages, I don't care what it is. When you master one skill in your business, all of the rest of your business will become easier. And you will become more clear in where you're going and what you're doing and how you're getting there. So I want you guys to brain dump tonight. I want you to write out everything that is overwhelming you. I want you to write out everything that you're working on, and I want you to write out what success is to you, and I want you to write out what is the one thing that I could do in my business that will impact me the most this week. One thing. Cannot be more than one. It's got to be one thing.
Can you write all that down in the group?
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
And I'll put it in the chat. That was a lot of stuff I just said.
I was going to say something there, Joel.
Yeah.
There's one thing that'll help you to get clear as well. And it's something I found. I haven't done it in a while. I think I'd done it probably years ago when I was involved with some networking where you had to do a mental cleanse. It is like no TV, no radio, or nothing like that for a whole month.
Oh.
I'm telling you, if you do something like that, like for instance, that's something I did this month, no TV at all. I'm able to do a lot more things. I'm able to get a lot clearer in a few things within my business and within my life itself by just clearing out that space where I just sit there and watch whatever that favorite TV show is on television. Even doing that helps it clear out a lot of things. Actually help that vision, that clarity as well. Just backing off of that stuff. It really does. It really does. I just want to add that to what you were saying there.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I'm glad you brought that up because there's a term that Tim Ferriss uses called the low information diet, and that is where you cut out a lot of the extra information that you're getting because guys, it's everywhere. We are constantly being flooded with information all day, every day. And so you really do have to just sometimes step back, take time. You'll be shocked at just a simple prayer or a simple meditation section, how great that will do your body and your mind above, reading this marketing material or reading about this new launch or that kind of stuff. You'd be shocked at how just getting a hold of your breath and just taking time to get peaceful and to get clear on your day, how that will affect the rest of your day, the rest of your setting your journey to your next goal. You're gonna be shocked at what a low information diet actually does for you.
Wow. Is there gonna be a replay?
Oh, yeah.
You might want to watch this one over a couple of times.
Yeah. I think that the other thing that I'm gonna do once the replay is up is like watch this like once a day. So much information, good information.
But it is a lot.
Yeah.
And that, guys, the whole reason why I'm not coming on here and teaching you the best headline formula and any of that stuff is because that stuff is gonna change. But the stuff that we're teaching you here does not. What we're teaching you here, this is the real stuff that makes business owners, that makes entrepreneurs.
This is what millionaires talk about.
Yeah. Every millionaire mastermind that I've ever been to, this is the conversation. And we're letting you guys into that conversation because, as much as we talk about, this technique, that technique, look, we'll have an 8-hour conversation, and 1 hour of that conversation will be this technique and that technique, and the rest of it is all this stuff here.
And half the time, guys, it's who can we find that knows how to do that stuff?
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Who can we outsource that to while we continue to grow ourselves?
Yeah.
That's why typically we're focusing on one skill. Julian, like I know that you like. If I could say, Julian, just off of the time that I've known you, if there's one skill that I've really seen you focus on, it's like funnel hacking. Like I've really seen you just hack the crap out of funnels, just over and over and over. You're always like hacking a funnel, and you're testing out different traffic sources all the different time, but it always comes down to the funnel that you're hacking.
Yeah.
And I've seen that over and over and over again from you, Sarah. If I could, mention just what I've seen you do over and over and over again, like it always comes back to growing your brain hacking. Like I always see you. You're always like, how can I create this trigger? How can I overcome that mental block? How can I create a way to establish a new belief that I need right now? Anytime that I'm talking to you, Sarah, it's always about this, like, how can I master every element of my brain?
We spend a lot of times in our brains, so
Yeah.
it's a focal point.
And Fidel, like, anytime that I'm talking to you, like, it's always about, like, posting your words in the RSL group. Thank you, Raymond. Fidel, like, whenever I'm talking to you, man, it's always about, like, how can I help more people? Like, it's always like, it's always in here. It's that heart-based entrepreneurship where you're talking about a lot of times, like, how can I help? How can I get into chats and help more people understand how to create success with this? So it's always like everybody has that one skill that is a talent of theirs that focuses, brings out that talent and their skill, and you guys likely have one of those things out. I mean, I know that everybody out there has something, a talent, a personality trait, that you can grow and apply to this business, this industry. Because there's a million ways to make $1 million, and they're all available to you on the internet. So.
But until you get that clarity on what it is that you need to do to get there, you know, it's almost like sometimes when you give someone too many options, even if you go to a restaurant and there's all these different things on the menu of different things that you like, sometimes when you go to a restaurant, there's a small amount of items, it's easy to pick what you actually want. I've seen that in that same reference as well. Sometimes less is more, and sometimes more is less.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so really, honestly, that's pretty much it. How can you make less is more work for you? And, you know, write all that stuff out that we talked about. And yeah, follow us on Facebook, watch what we do, and mirror it. Because every single person on this panel is focused dramatically right now on increasing brand presence and focused on their messaging and focusing on growing our one skill. Caleb Maddox is like I think he's 13 or 14 or something like that, but he always says it all the time. Money stands for my one. If you take the M and the Y on the end of it, in the inside it spells one. My one, money. So what is your one? What is your one thing? Get clear on it. That, guys, will grow yourselves and grow your business dramatically. So, all right, guys, love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. It was quite the chat and quite the call. I hope you guys got some value out of it. I know there was lots of golden nuggets dropped, so I'm sure you guys probably want to rewatch this and maybe even download this. If you guys want to download this thing, you guys can go to a website called keepvid.com. Just find this video on YouTube and post it over there. You can download this video and keep it for yourself.
And share it with.
Exactly. You can share it with other people as well. So, all right, guys, that's it for tonight. But, there is some other things, few updates I wanted to mention before we jump off here. As many of you guys might know, Ultimate RevShare now has a membership with it, and I want you guys to get into Ultimate RevShare's Facebook group and learn that information. Second, RevShare Lifestyle, what's happening with it? We are working on a brand new system, and RevShare Lifestyle is going evergreen. So provided that Ultimate RevShare is still the right fit, and I'm still thinking that it will be, RevShare Lifestyle is only going to focus on a minimal amount of income streams, and the reason is because it creates better conversion, and I'd rather get 10 sales on one income stream than 2 sales on 10 income streams, because I'm going to, you're going to create more sales from it. In addition to that, guys, I mentioned earlier in this call, me and a few very close friends of mine are planning a very high-level mastermind here in Las Vegas. Our estimated dates right now are going to be near the end of June. Not going to say the exact dates, but near the end of June, maybe even the first week of July, something like that. And it is going to be some really, really, really high-level stuff. Many of these people in here are already millionaires, and they're already creating these types of results for other people. So we're going to go deep on that type of stuff. So I'm hoping that some of you guys can be there. Next week, I'll announce the exact, give you guys a website where you guys can actually check it out and maybe even pick up a ticket as well, and hopefully we'll get to meet in Vegas. Other than that, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' comments in the group. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on next week's webinar, and I'm also looking forward to seeing you guys on every Monday as I got something cool planned that's coming up every Mondays from all Mondays here on out. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching, tuning in tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys.